There are two reasons we don't want bare soil in the garden. So in this video, we're going to talk about how to either avoid bare soil or at least make use of it. So there are two reasons you don't want bare soil. Is one, it's a waste of growing space, and two, while you expect bare soil in spring and winter while things are getting going, bare soil in the middle of summer is a real disappointment because we want to use that space to grow flowers or a crop or something beautiful. That is what we've been waiting for, which is going to pull us out of winter and make us feel really nice in the garden. So having bare soil when you've been waiting all year for something to grow is really not what you're going for. So I'm going to walk around my garden and show you some of the things I do to either make the most of my bare soil, put it to good use, or to how I strategize to avoid gaps in the summer, and particularly the late summer, because we often grow for spring and early summer and then we forget to have something in place for the second half of the summer. So we'll get into all that in this video. Now in spring, it's not unusual to have gaps in your garden or bare soil in your pots because you're waiting for everything to get going, but it's a really good time to plan and use that bare soil now to its best advantage. So I have already sprinkled nigella all along here because I know nigella grows really well in my garden, and if it comes up in too many places all at once, I'll just thin it and move it out. The second thing I've done is I've used my pots of tulips and daffodils and things that haven't matured yet as little nurseries to start other plants that I know I'm going to need later in the summer. So here's some tulips, and I also have some saponaria here, which I just sprinkled from my own seeds that I collected, and calendula. And of course these are getting quite full now, so I can take these out and transplant them in other pots or areas in the garden for later. Here's some more I've done here. I had so many calendula seeds, and as you can see, tulips and daffodils really don't take up that much space on the soil. So you can use the bare soil to start all these different seeds. So I'm going to have tons of calendula that I can, and saponaria that I can use in other parts of the garden when my forget-me-nots and everything else are going over. Another way I've used space efficiently is to overplant. So in this bed here, I have peas, I have salad, and I have Jerusalem artichokes under the soil. The Jerusalem artichoke is going to take the longest to grow. It takes ages. It won't even start to grow probably for another month, then it'll have shoots, then it won't even flower until say September. So I can grow over the top of it while I'm waiting some salad crops, and as I eat the salad I'll just sprinkle more seeds on top so that I can keep the production going in this bed. I've done the same over here. I've got some ranunculus growing, and underneath I've got ginger because the ginger is going to take a lot longer. The ranunculus are going to, and the sweet peas also going to be finished by June, and then of course the ginger can take over. And I've done the same here. You can see I've got some more calendula here. So I'm using all this bare soil, and I only use it for things that are easy to grow. So you don't want to do like premium seeds, things that are a little bit more challenging in this way. You want to do things that you're not going to have to be babying and worrying about. Here's another one where I have some more Jerusalem artichokes overtopped with spinach, some more peas, etc. And then when these peas are almost over, I'm going to start planting some beans. I've also got some coriander seeds. I was going to dig these up to show you the Jerusalem artichoke, but I don't want to disturb the seeds that I've already sown here. I think I might have some old footage. If I do, I will pop it on the screen so you can see where I planted them. Again, here I have some parsley, coriander, and spinach overgrowing on top of the Jerusalem artichoke. So you're not only maximising the efficiency of your pot and the capacity of your space, etc., you're putting the bare soil to good use. And I have this old cupboard. It was supposed to be an old tool shed from Amazon. It fell apart. It was rubbish. So I'm just going to use it while it still lasts as a potato planter, and I'm just filling it up with soil at the moment. Now, by the time I've got the soil to the top here, those shoots from the potatoes aren't going to show for a while. So again, I can grow something on top, something like some more salad leaves or some herbs, etc. on top of this space and make the use of it. I'm going to even put some beans on the end there and put another trellis up. Now, those of you who've been watching my gardening videos for a while, you know I put my ranunculus in this polytunnel area here, this outdoor one. But I also decided to maximise the efficiency of this space while it's warm and cosy, to use up some seeds that maybe are on the cusp of going over. So I've planted in here. I've got some more calendula growing in here amongst the ranunculus. I've also got some snapdragons, which I think were coming out of date, so I wanted to use them up. So I've sprinkled them about. Now, they're not going to necessarily grow to maturity in here, but I'm just going to use the warm atmosphere, the lovely compost, the bare soil to get them going. I'm at the stage where I can generally recognise seedlings at a certain stage, so I'll know whether I'll be able to plant them out. Now, these ones here, this Gomphrena, were out of date, so I just threw them in here in the hopes that something will happen. If it doesn't, it doesn't matter, but I just want to use the space and I want to use the seeds. And I also have some clary in here as well that I can again transplant. This isn't necessarily there where they're ending up, but I'm just using the space before these ranunculus get big to germinate some seeds, because it's warm, protected, it's got good compost in there, and you just saw some nasturtiums there as well. So let's move to how do we avoid those bare patches in the summer. And the way we do that is we grow things in advance. So I love these forget-me-nots. These aren't even in full display yet, but they get really big in my garden, and I like them to be replaced with something else because they're so sparkly. So I grow all these Saponaria pink beauties, and they're very sparkly, and they're like forget-me-nots. They're just a bit bigger, and they flower a bit later. They flower almost immediately after the forget-me-nots are over. So I plan for that in advance so that I'll have these ready. These need transplanting now, and then by the time the forget-me-nots are over, I'm going to be able to plant all these new plants out. I've got Clarkia here, 3 different types of Clarkia. I've got cornflowers, and particularly, of course, my pink beauty, which are my favourite for replacing sunflowers. But I also have these dianthus, which can replace my ranunculus when they're over. And so I've planned in advance for those bare spots. Now, what you can also do if your timing is a little off, I'll just show you some more here. I'm getting a bit carried away, but I've got some echinacea as well, and rudbeckia. There's rudbeckia. Now, you can plant, obviously, these transplants straight into the bare soil where you want them to grow, but you can obviously transplant them into pots first, into larger pots, and they can grow on a bit, because these definitely aren't ready to replace my forget-me-nots yet, so they need to grow a bit bigger. They can go to a next stage pot, etc., and then they get to a point where you can either put them straight into the bare earth and have them mature and grow on there, or you can plant them into another pot, a larger pot, where they can actually grow into a mature plant. And I have backups, so I do both. So I will put some straight into the ground, and then I will put some into pots where they can grow into mature plants, these black pots here. And then it has 2 advantages doing that. You have like a mobile garden, so you can move the pots around to those places where you just didn't quite figure out the look. You can do this with veggies and flowers. I've weaved in pots of tomatoes and cucumbers into my borders before. And then as you get the bare spots or a flower going over or an annual finishing, you can then move, you can either dig that up and move your mature cosmos or snapdragons, etc., into that space and use up that space and cover up that gap in your border. The other advantage of having the mobile garden in pots is that it gives you a little bit of extra height. And then because it's summer, the pots won't show. They'll be hidden amongst all the other foliage in the borders, and providing you're not going to put them at the front of the border, and in which case, if you are, just use a nicer pot. These black pots are obviously designed to be hidden amongst the garden. But anyway, that's it. I won't go on anymore. That's how I manage and avoid bare spots in the garden. And if you found any of my information helpful, then don't forget to subscribe, like, share your hints and tips in the comments below, and I'll see you again in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.